everybody, it's Lauren with Metalbergs Travel Services and
Kim Metalberg with Metalbergs Travel Services.
And it's Friday today, so we're going to talk a little bit. This is going to be like my vlog combination. We're going to talk today about my Greece trip. So I'm going to Greece next month and I'm really excited. Thank you, Mom. I'm really excited. I'm going to Athens the 9th through the 18th.
And what she's not passing on to you is that she's actually going to be working.
Yeah, I go to a conference. So I have a pre-fam, so they're fam trips, and I have a pre-fam where I get to go see some cool stuff, and then I have a day off, and then I am in like classes for the next part of the week, but I get some of the evenings off, and Lauren's gonna be a good girl in Greece because you shouldn't go and party it up in another country because you could get hurt.
You could.
Or kidnapped.
One of the things that we thought might be of interest to everybody is whenever you're planning a trip abroad, no matter where, it could be Mexico, Greece, as Lauren is, but out of the country. So it could even be Canada. So if you're leaving the U.S., Alaska and Hawaii are part of the U.S., just for those that don't realize.
And Guam and Puerto Rico.
And Guam and Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yes.
So anything outside of those, you do need to get a passport. Now there are some cruises that will allow you, and what they're called is they're a closed cruise. So you get out, you cruise the water, you come back. However, you're not getting off the ship on any foreign country. Those you may be able to get away with without a passport. However, what could happen if the ship has problems and you're not allowed to get off the ship? So they've had this happen on closed ones where the ship had issues and they had to tow the ship back to the U.S. ports because people didn't have passports with them. So whenever you travel abroad, it is good to have, what, Lauren?
A passport.
A passport. And we had a phone call today, so this prompted us to thinking, we're gonna share this information with you on what you should do pre-travel. So you wanna travel, it's in your mind, and what do you wanna do first, Lauren?
What do I wanna do first? I want to make sure I have all my documentation so that way I know what to budget for. So passport, visas, stuff like that, you want to make sure that you are eligible and able to get those ahead of time because you don't want to spend a bunch of money on a trip and then not have your passport show up in time. I've heard of a lot of people who have, tried to get it expedited and they waited until 3 months before they were leaving to get their passport and then they were unable to leave because their passport didn't come in time. So you always want to make sure you have your documentation before you even think about leaving the country.
So it's always good to do your research first, what you are going to actually need for that trip. So we already know we need a passport because you're going to be leaving the country.
Yep.
So the best place to look for a passport is travel.state.gov. And while you're on that site, you can get your passport, but there's also an amazing thing on there, and it's the countries.
Yep.
And the country part of it, you click on it, and you can do your pre-research. So if you have an idea, okay, I'm thinking I might want to go to Ireland. So what would you do? You look on it to see what you're going to need.
And we'll actually show you that. We'll do a little demonstration of that in a little bit. So I'll actually make sure we have it over there. The other thing that you definitely want to do is I would always recommend researching the place you're going to, just in general for like small customs things, laws, the language, So for my trip for Greece, I actually downloaded an app that has all of the basic language words. So I now know how to say delicious, yes, no, can I use the bathroom, things like that. You want to make sure that you know small stuff so you're at least trying. A lot of European countries do speak English, But, you know, it's always a respect thing. You're going to their country. It's always really, really kind and respectful to actually try to learn the language. Even though, like, my accent sounds terrible. I do not sound like I'm from Greece at all, but I'm trying. I'm also doing research on the country itself, different food, different, you know, just picking up some travel guides along the way, so that way you can learn a little bit about the culture you're going into, because obviously it's going to be different from where you're from.
Now, one of the things that I thought was just a tidbit on Greece was that when you go to a restaurant, they give appetizers. So they put the appetizers in front of you, unordered. If you eat them, you pay for them. So it's kind of a way to upsell, you know, so it's like, oh, here's some appetizers. And Americans don't realize that this is the custom, so then you get kind of surprised on the backside. And they also charge per pound for fish. So, you know, fresh seafood and stuff, you're in Greece, and then you get the surprise on the backside that it's really per pound. So those were two things that I thought was interesting.
I
want to know how you say, I have to go to the bathroom.
It's really hard to say. I don't want to say it in front of everyone. I can, ne is yes. That's an interesting thing. In the Greek language, ne means yes. And that's very strange to me because everywhere else in the world, nays, no's, things like that all mean no. So if you're in Greece, don't be telling them no because they'll think you're saying yes. I mean, most of them speak English, so I'm sure they understand. But, you know, that's beside the point. I don't know. It's really hard to say some Greek words. Their palate's so much different than mine is. I have a hard time with it. But I'm trying. And I do have the app, so that way if I can't say it, it'll say it for me, so that's a positive too.
Now keep in mind, one of the things that's interesting with the apps is that when you travel abroad, you want to make sure that your phone coverage, you've let them know and you've updated it to the international plan. The other is keep in mind your Wi-Fi. So if you're going to be traveling and the hotel is offering free Wi-Fi, do most of your stuff during the free Wi-Fi time. Also, look at other forums, you know, like Facebook. Get all of your friends and family that you might want to communicate. Get them on Facebook because Facebook has telephone. So you can Skype, you can phone, you know, video chat with your friends and family on Wi-Fi versus using your actual phone plan.
Except if you go to China, you know, they have other apps that you're going to want to get when you go to China because Facebook and the Chinese government have a little bit of a disagreement right now.
So China is a good app called WeChat.
Yeah, WeChat
is a good app for China.
They also have another really big international video chat one is WhatsApp. It's like what's and then app. I know a lot of people internationally that use that one as well.
Yeah. So look around. Keep in mind that the other people that you're going to be visiting with or talking to have to have that same app.
Yeah.
So you'll want to make sure that before you depart, everybody's uploaded on it so that you've used it, you know how to use it. So, you know, if you're visiting Greece and mom wants to hear from you, mom can see your beautiful face.
Although I try to add her on all these things, right? She's like, why are you adding me and you sit right next to me? I was like, I want you to see my beautiful face. And she goes, I see it all the time.
I do. She sits right there.
Yeah, my desk is the messy one. Actually, it doesn't look that messy right now.
Mine's pretty messy too. So
yeah. We've been busy. We've been working.
Yeah.
Oh, also, a really good place to learn visa information is cibtvisa.com. It really helps with a lot of knowing whether you need a visa, application for a visa, and how to get it, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Did you have anything else that you really, before we went into the showing them?
Nope, we're ready to show you. I have brought them up already so that you have them. And we have listed them before the various travel us.state.gov. But we thought after the phone call today that it might be a good thing to actually show you guys where it's at, how to go about it, and what, the easiest way for you to do it without having to spend a fortune on doing it.
So we will be right back showing you that in just a moment. I have to get real close. Hi guys.
So this is the travel.state.gov app that we were telling you about. And you have two options. So you have the US passport, and then international travel is right next to it. The two of them would be where you're going to spend a lot of time on it. So the US passport, we're going to go there really quick. And it gives you the fees so that you can find out how much your fees are going to cost. If you're sending in an application, you can track it. They actually have the forms here. Any special information is going to be listed on the side. And when you send it in, it has, different information. So after I apply and so forth. So you're going to download the application, fill it out. Your photos you can get taken at like Walgreens. Just let them know they're passport photos. And you'll take the photos, your birth certificate, and your form. Contact your local post office and ask them which post office in your area does passport applications. Then you will call that local office and take your information to them and submit it, and they will send it in. And it will be mailed back to you. If you're not leaving, so if you're going, I would do this as soon as you know. If you're looking at actually traveling, go ahead and get your passport. It's good for 10 years, and you don't have to worry about it. If you wait until 2 weeks before, they will expedite it, and you're going to pay a lot of money for it. Even a month before, you're still paying a lot. So do it if you're looking at traveling in the future. Get your passport. The nice thing about your passport, again, the 10 years, but then you can do a last minute trip and you don't have to worry about it. You're going to want to remember two things. Your passport, the name that you put on your passport will be the name that you put on every airline ticket. So if you have a misspelling on your passport, you will want to make sure that you get it corrected right away. So that is your passport section. And then they have this lovely international travel section. They have a before you go, country information, while you're abroad, and emergencies. So it is a good thing to look at it so that you're prepared. If you look over on the side, it has, they have view all advisories where you can pull up every advisory. We're going to look at the country information because we want you to actually see, and we're going to do Lauren's Greece first because that's where she's going right now. So when you click on it, it comes up and it's saying that it's a level 1 exercise normal precautions. So here's your advisories over on the right hand side, and it's just exercise normal precautions. Whenever you travel internationally, you'll want to remember that no matter where you go in the world, there are bad people. So what you wouldn't do domestically, don't do internationally. So if you wouldn't go out domestically and into a bad area, you'll want to also use that same precaution internationally. So they have to exercise precaution, so we're okay there. When you have all of your information, you'll want to remember to apply for the STEP program. And here's where it gets really interesting. The quick facts about it. So you'll always want to look here because remember you have your passport, it's good for 10 years. You want to make sure that your passport isn't going to expire before you need it to. So when you go to Greece, it's saying that you have to have 6 months of remaining validity is recommended. They may let you go, they may not. So it's always good to err on the other side. And if your passport's expiring, have a new one. They want an extra page, blank page on your passport. And if you're only traveling like Lauren is for a couple of weeks, you don't need a visa. So you have all of that right here. They use euros or an equivalent. So it gives you the basic, and you need no vaccinations. They have embassies listed, destination, so they have other information. Definitely check all of those out because you want to have that information when you're traveling. And you'll want to make sure that you have no issues, like any medications that you may have. Lauren and I wanted to show you so that you can see different things. And one of the things that we thought would be interesting would be Mexico, because they just did for the Playa del Carmen area. And Mexico is only a level 2. So that's not that bad. It's saying they've increased caution for the areas, and then they have down additional alerts. So you'll want to definitely check out the additional alerts. Again, passport must be valid at the time of entry, so you're okay there. One of the things on the health area is the Zika virus, which is out there. So it'll give you information on that. And then it gives you additional information on your Medicare and so forth. At one time, Mexico had issues with various medications for allergies, and you would find that in there. We wanted one other country that we wanted to show you. Do you remember which one it was, Lauren?
We're going to do Afghanistan so they could see when it says do not. So
there's the Afghanistan.
So this is a level 4, and as you can see, that says do not travel. Now, of course, there's still people that go there. There's still planes that go there, but understand that the United States government is telling you not to for various reasons, and some of them are right there.
Yeah. So you always want to look to see where the U.S. government stands on it. Another one that's been in the news is North Korea. And the one reason I had the North Korea is because it's a do not travel, and that is the one where the young lad was imprisoned. So it literally says that North Korea, without a special violation from the State Department, but they go into that you can be due to serious risks of being arrested and long-term detention of U.S. citizens. So you want to look at it and decide on where you want to go based on, your facts. And it's always good to know facts. So do your research and make sure. The next site that we had was should you need a visa. So you have your passport in hand now. You cannot get a visa until you have your passport. So you have your passport in hand. So we have a site, it's called CIBT Visas. There are other visa companies out there. This just happens to be a really easy visa company and a very easy site to show you. So on here it says, do you need a visa? So I hold a U.S. passport. Then it asks you what state you live in. And it asks you, I am going to. So you tell it where you want to go. So in Lauren's case, we're going to Greece. your purpose of your trip, so you can do business, tourists, and then it's going to think for a little bit, and it says no, a visa is not required for this destination. So you are good to go, and you are in the know. It's always good to know where you want to go and the facts on it. What do you think, Lauren?
I think that is super true, especially with today's society being the way it is and how crazy the world has gotten. You always want to make sure, and also use the STEP program with the United States government, because that way they know where you're at and they can get you out of a situation if need be.
Yeah. So it's good to know you have your STEP program. You want to buy your travel insurance so that if you have to be evacuated, and I would look at not just the insurance that's offered by your airfare, but check out various travel insurances. The other thing that I would suggest is you want to have all of your research here done before you purchase anything, because you do realize with international, you pay more to change your reservation, and if your passport doesn't make it in, you're going to pay for the changes. There you go.
All right, everybody, so it is Fable Friday. I hope all of this information was really useful for everyone, and if you have any questions or any input or anything at all, you can leave a comment below or message us. You can do that too, or call us at 623-295-9819. We answer the phone. It's really cool. So if you want to talk to us about anything, give us a call, leave us a message. Go follow all of our social media, which will be in the link or the description box below, because there's a lot of them. We've got Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. What else? Do we have anything else?
We have a newsletter, so if you want more information and be on our mailing list, give us, let us know your information. We'll add you to our mailing list. Mondays we do travel tip. No.
Mondays we do articles, current events.
Tuesday, travel tips.
Wednesday's Wacky Wednesday, so that's the day where we find all our suppliers' information and we give you all the awesome deals and sales and opportunities that you might not know about. Like this last week, we found a knitting thing, a knitting tour in Scotland. So it's all very interesting, weird things that you might not think about. We find that and give that to you. So, that's always a fun one. And then of course, Thursday and Friday, those are my vlog and blog days. I know I've been slacking, guys. I know. Don't get mad at me. I know. But we're working on it. We're getting more content for you all. I'm so excited for Greece. It's coming up. I've just been doing a lot of research and planning for the trip. And I got a couple other trips that are in the works for this year, don't I, Mom?
Yeah, she's just thinking she needs to travel quite a bit.
I'm going to be all over the world. Well, no. Just in Europe and the United States.
There you go.
But it's going to be fun. So I'm going to have a lot of really fun stuff for you guys. But right now, we're just trying to get some fun things to tell you. So just be patient. I promise. I'll be there. I promise. And you'll get to see my dramaticness, because we all know I'm very dramatic. Right, Mom?
She is very dramatic.
I'm a theatrical person. So I will talk to you all later. My name is Lauren with Metalberg's Travel Services, and
Kim Metalberg, Metalberg's Travel Services.
And we'll talk to y'all later.
Have a good one.